Hi, welcome back. I am Sarah Jo, and today I'm doing a project that I've thought about for a while. I am going to crochet a scarf, but the rules are I am going to ride the Chicago trains, CTA, and only crochet the color of the train line I am on. I wanted to make sure I had the start of the scarf, so I crocheted a little like granny pattern, Chicago flag that I'm gonna start working off of, and I started working on that last night, so here's a few clips of that. In my original intro, I rambled a lot, so instead of trying to edit all of that down, I decided I could explain the project in a voiceover. First off, I didn't want to fiddle with the start of the scarf while I was on the train, so that's why I'm doing this granny stitch Chicago flag motif for the start of the scarf. I also know that I can do the granny stitch pretty quickly without thinking about it a whole lot, so I wanted to use it for the rest of the scarf already. For this project, I'm crocheting the color of the Chicago train line I am on as I ride the train, and I want to ride every line in one day. I set a few rules for myself for this project to make sure that it went as smooth as possible. Crocheting on the platform is okay while I wait on a train or if I need to finish a row before I transfer to the next train, but no additional rows can be added after I get off of a train. Rather than possibly hurting my hands by crocheting the full length of every train line, I chose to do at least 10 stops of each L line. Going into this project, I didn't do any math on how long my scarf would end up being, how fast I could crochet the rows, anything like that. I just jumped right in and said, let's see if doing this actually creates a scarf in a day. I'm gonna head to the bus to get to the blue line. I already have a day pass loaded up on my Venture card, and so I'll catch you guys when I tap into the first station. Alright, so I just got on the orange line, and I will go ahead and take it down to Western. I have not put any orange onto the hook yet. I literally just missed a train. I am going to pull the orange out now. It says there should be a train in 6 minutes, and hopefully I can get the orange tied on, blue cut off, and then I will ride the orange. Something else that I'm doing is I'm making sure that I ride at least 10 stops on all the lines, except the yellow is way too short for me to do that. So the yellow, I'll just ride it both ways. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get the orange started. At this point, I was waiting on the bus to the pink line from the orange, and the background noise was a little bit too much, but I'm basically saying that it is about 12:25 and I'm going to swap the colors in my bag while I'm on the bus. I also started thinking about having lunch at Chinatown in this point. I talked for a lot longer, but none of it ended up actually being that important to what was happening. So let's go ahead and get on the pink line. So it's about 3:40 and I just had lunch in Chinatown and stopped and got a snack and used the restroom. I've come to terms with it's gonna be dark by the time I'm done with this. My original plan was to take a bus to the red line once I got to one of the green line inns, either Cottage Grove or 63rd and Ashland, I think. I don't know, something Ashland. Anyways, I ended up not doing that and just staying on the green line and coming back. But I didn't want to overdo the green, so I just didn't do any green on the way back up the green line. But part of the reason why I waited was because I know that it's really easy to walk from the green line to Chinatown, so I decided I would just do that instead of taking a bus again. So I am going to get back on the red line and continue this project. Once again, the background noise in this clip was just a little bit too much. I was basically just at the Howard stop waiting on the yellow line. Never been there before, so it was a new experience. I have been home a couple hours. I finished. It still needs the ends woven in, and I think I'm gonna do a border of some kind. Haven't quite decided yet what that's gonna be. I didn't film as much when there were like people sitting right in front of me because I didn't want to have people in my video that weren't consenting to be there. As I was waiting on the brown line, one of the first people to like really say anything to me about crocheting all day, he didn't even like make a real comment about my project. It was more like, this is a cool hobby, how long have you been doing it? And I said about 20 years, and he just looked at me with this expression like, what? No way. And I'm like, I learned when I was like in 5th or 6th grade, so it's been a while. It was very funny. And then I just rode the brown line. I got off at Francisco. That's the stop I wanted to end at. Unfortunately, I didn't get to take any video while I was there. I like ran off the train at Francisco because I was just trying to just do too much right there at the end. And then as I ran off the train, I got my stuff back together on the platform, and then another train was coming. I'm like, oh well, I need to get back on the train. I'm still trying to decide how I want to do the border, what I want to do for a border, but you'll see, I guess, in just a second. It's done. I went ahead and blocked it because this part was definitely a lot tighter than up here with the rest of the scarves. The Chicago flag part, I didn't realize how much thinner the yarn was, and I definitely should have sized up my hook, but I didn't, and that's okay. It still turned out amazing, and I made these little hand warmers to go with it. The border, I did this overlapping thing with each of the colors. I thought it was fun and helped kind of give that train line feel to it, but it is an insanely long scarf, and so I had also thought about putting some fringe on the end of it. I don't think it needs it, but I can wrap it around a couple times if I want, leave it down low. I'm so excited with how it came out. One day and a scarf. Obviously I did a little bit more than just a day, but I'm very happy with how it came out. And if you're interested in seeing some more pictures, feel free to check out my Instagram at Triceranauts and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.